Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today's match is going to be our week 4 match, as last week I forgot to hit the record button. Well, before we started the match, I thought I hit it, but I don't think I did. I don't think I hit it properly, and I just assumed I was recording. Then when I got to it, I was like, "Where's the file?" And I couldn't find it. So we did actually not record last week's match, which was a shame. But that was a shambles anyway. That last match. A lot of things went wrong for us in that. One, we brought Porygon instead of Rotom, and also just the fact we were just all over the place in that. So it wouldn't have been a very good one to watch, but we lost 3-0 that one. But it was very, very good on there, and they played really well. So we did lose that one. But now we are playing against STARBOYS in this video, so we're going to lead with Rotom and Thwackey, and we're going to bring Venusaur and Colossal as well. I think we leave the Steelix out too, mainly because Rotom isn't threatened by anything on their team. If they brought Littleroot, it may have been another story for our Rotom, but they didn't bring the Littleroot, so it was really safe to bring the Rotom. So we think go Rotom and Thwackey for some fake out pressure on that one as well. So they lead with Goodra, which is a very, very good lead by them, because Thwackey and Rotom do not hit Goodra very well. So our plan here was ignore Goodra, because Goodra can't one-hit KO our Rotom Dynamaxed. We calced for that anyway, so we're just going to Dynamax Rotom, go for the Max Darkness into Cofagrigus, and then go for knockoff, because there's no point of faking out, because we thought there was going to be a Dynamax here on the Goodra. But they didn't Dynamax. They actually had a misclick, and they Power Whip into the Thwackey here, which is unfortunate. I think they meant to Dynamax and go into the Rotom, but to be honest, I think not Dynamaxing on there seems kind of benefited more than... I know the misclick's annoying, but I think it benefited them having the Dynamax later on in the game. Because our Rotom should have been able to take 2 hits of Goodra's Dynamax if he chose to. So we're just waiting on their side. So we go for our Dynamax, and we do take out the Cofagrigus here, because we didn't want them to set Trick Room up. That was the main thing why we didn't go for fake out or anything like that, because there was no point trying to fake out Goodra, because we really thought it was going to Dynamax. So we just went for the knockoff, just to get rid of any potential focus sashes or anything like that. And we do about just over 50. Or just under 50%, and the Max Darkness does just clean up here pretty well. So we knew that the Trick Room went on the table, which is always nice to know that you've got the speed advantage on the field at the minute. That's still fairly good damage on our Thwackey though, because it's resisted. And then he takes the ability Mummy, because I just got it off of Cofagrigus. So really he lost his Sap Sipper there, which is what he didn't want to lose really, because that would come in handy against the Thwackey and the Venusaur that we brought. So I think they bring in Blaziken now. I can't remember very much after this. Yeah, I think it's Blaziken they brought in, because we went for... I think we go for the Max Geyser, because our whole aim of the game was, if Goodra's bought, we just ignore Goodra and kill everything to the side, because we know that they might get rid of our Dynamax, but at the same time they'd lose their Dynamax as well, so it's not too much of a threat, because we'd have Dragonite on the back to deal with Goodra. So I think we go for the Max Geyser here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we go for the Max Geyser. And I think we switch the Thwackey into Dragonite. Yeah, we did, yeah. I remember now. Yeah. So he switches out Goodra for Luxray for the Intimidate. And we switch out... Do we switch? No, we don't switch. Sorry. We do switch, though. Ah, we U-turn. Sorry. That's where we got... I knew we switched here, but I forgot that we had U-turn on. That was for Zarude on their side. But they didn't bring him, so... So we U-turn and then we bring Dragonite out. Knowing that they probably wouldn't use a Dragon move in this slot. Or hoping they wouldn't. And the Max Geyser does pretty well here. Hit through Protect. And does over 50%, which is nice. And because we swapped in the Dragonite, it was a no-brainer, really. We Aqua Jet in the rain. And that'll be more than enough to take out their Spicy Nugget. Because I think, if I remember rightly how I calculated it, the close combat will do about 50% for Dynamax Rotom if they're max attack with Adamant. So we didn't want to risk that. So I think I remember here we chuck a Max Geyser into Luxray, and we think in Aqua Jet will probably pick up the Blaziken here, unless they switch out. But they didn't switch out, which is fine because we pick up the KO there, which is a nice clean KO there as well. Just doubling into a player 2 slot. This was unfortunate here because that breaks our multi-scale, because we were a multi-scale to allow us to be hit by a Dragon move Dynamaxed by Goodra. So we wouldn't be able to survive one now. Goodra takes this Max Geyser really well. Takes it really well. So now he brings in his last Pokemon on the player 2 side, which is Togekiss. And this is where it starts to get a bit tricky for us, because we just lose our Dynamax and they're going into their Dynamax. This is where I thought their turn 1, if they had Dynamax now, I feel like we'd be in this sort of same position as we are in now. So I think it benefited them that they didn't Dynamax in a way, because we'd be on the same playing field type thing. Now we'd both be having, there wouldn't be that threat of the Dynamax. So I think it did work out pretty well for them in that sense. The misclick might have thrown them off a little bit, but they did come back swinging. But we're just going to go for the Thunderbolt straight into Togekiss to do as much as we can. And then we're going to bring back the Dragonite. Mainly because there's no reason for him to stay on the field. I know we could have gone for a Outrage and took out the Goodra straight away, but if he'd followed me, it would have just redirected, and we didn't want to risk that. So we're like, we'll just save Dragonite till after Dynamax. So now they do Power Whip, and they do take out Rotom here, which I was quite surprised it did it in one hit, considering we are more invested in defense and we have quite a lot of HP on Rotom. But I suppose Grassy Terrain is up as well. But we did calc for that. But it's not too much of a problem here, because it was free switching the Colossal, and here we just think he can Dynamax Goodra now. We do have Fake Out Pressure, and we also, he's 99.9% going to go for the Colossal here. So it's either we could risk going for an Ancient Power into Togekiss and just do some chip, or we can just straight up Protect, take a hit, and then let him go down next turn. I think that's what we end up doing here. We just go for the Protect because oh god, sorry, I'm just choking. Yeah, just because we know Colossal doesn't really do much for us now. Colossal was kind of there. If we didn't Dynamax Rotom in the end, we could have gone for a Dynamax Colossal a late game Dynamax Colossal, but we went for the Rotom obviously. So he didn't really have a place here just because he's too slow. We need to get our Dragonite back in, and we didn't want to do that. So we just played it out. We just play out this Dynamax. Probably going to take a few KOs here, but we got to stall out this Dynamax. And I think if we weren't protected, then that would have been a surefire KO. So that's fine. Our weakness policy pops here, but it doesn't matter. We just let our Colossal die here pretty much. So we lose our grassy terrain, and I think this is where we go. Right, we want our grassy terrain back up. There's a potential grassy glide because we don't want their third Pokemon is on player 1 side, so we're kind of like, we want to keep grassy glide just in case Blastoise is there. So we knew he was on that side. So I think we just U-turn here, and we get Ninetales out to set the sun up for us. I'm thinking of it now. We weren't too sure whether this Goodra was running a water move or not, so or any kind of move that could change the weather. He does go for the Max Quick again. That gives him the +2 on special defense now, but we didn't mind at all because we had the Dragonite, which we knew, I think it was like 98% Dynamax Goodra to non-Dynamaxed Dragonite. So there was a high percent chance, I think it was like a 6% chance to one-hit KO. No, I could be wrong on that one. It was a high percent chance to KO a Dynamax Goodra. So that's mainly why we weren't too bothered about losing a couple here, if it means getting out, getting him off his Dynamax, or if he's in Dynamax with Dragonite, just going for the Outrage. So here we go for Sludge Bomb straight into Togekiss. And I think we go for a Heat Wave, mainly just to do damage. Like, we didn't want to switch out. We knew that Ninetales, or even possibly Venusaur, is going to be hit pretty hard. So we just went for Heat Wave to do a bit of damage to both of them. Sludge Bomb, I was thinking Sludge Bomb would have KO'd here, but I'm pretty sure that has to be Assault Vest, because that took that extremely well. Same with the Heat Wave. So the Maxor Wind takes out Ninetales, which we didn't mind because that was his last turn Dynamax. He can't change the weather now. So we were in a good position now. We were thinking, right, as long as we can get the Dragonite out, get the Outrage off, we don't get a Protect or something, I think Dragonite's good to go. We were a bit concerned about the Follow Me, but then we were saying doesn't matter because Sludge Bomb will go first because Venusaur's in Sun. We were pretty confident with ourselves here that there was nothing we weren't expecting. Because even if the Follow Me went off, the Sludge Bomb would go first, then it would only leave Leauge, or else the Outrage would still go off. If he protects, I think there's still a chance the Outrage would go off. But mainly because of that Sludge Bomb damage, I instantly thought that has to be Assault Vest. So he can't protect. Well, no, he won't be Assault Vest because he had Follow Me. So he's not. He must be just really high, actually. I thought he was Assault Vest. But there we go. He took down the Goodra. So now it's just Luxray and their last Pokemon, which is Blastoise, which we didn't know at this point. So he brings out the Blastoise. So here it was kind of half expecting a fake out. I wasn't expecting, because I think he switches straight out to get an Intimidate off onto the Dragonite. Which was a good play. It was a really good play. That energy ball does so much damage, and the Outrage just pretty much cleans up the Luxray here. So again, it comes down again to 2 against 1, and then when it gets to this stage of the game, it's quite hard to pull back when it's 2 against 1. So the Blastoise comes back out, and I'm sure it's going to be a fake out onto Venusaur, and I think our Outrage ended last turn, so we switch out because we don't want to start playing the risky game and being, oh, we'll go for another Outrage and try and pick up the kill. We'll just switch out, get rid of the confusion, bring Thwackey back in. Thwackey can then Grassy Glide. So we'll have a bit of priority going on here as well. But then, as we've seen, he gets the Grassy Seed, so he obviously planned for us to bring Thwackey, which is a good play on their side to do that, just to take the Thwackey hit a bit better, I suppose. It goes for went for the fake out on Venusaur, which we predicted pretty much. We didn't mind that. We do lose Sun now, so it does come down to, again, we were thinking, how fast is this Blastoise, because we're only a little bit invested in Venusaur. But obviously we had Grassy Glide on Thwackey. I think we are adamant max attack on Thwackey. So really all we had to do here is just click the grass moves, and that was pretty much it. So it was a very good game. Unfortunate for their misclick at the beginning on turn 1, but I didn't think it faltered them in any way. It kind of, if anything, I think it definitely helped them later game to have that Dynamax threat. Just because Goodra wasn't scary at the beginning, if it was going to Dynamax, just because we knew we could live 2, so we'd have still done the same anyway, but it would have been a little bit more manageable, not dealing with the Dynamax later game. But GG's to STARBOYS, very good game, and that'll be it for this one. So I'll catch you all in the next one.